I'm on my sober up move.
Folks, we got a lot to cover tonight. So y'all know what it is. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for tonight's show? Let's jump into the things right now.
Big old bell, big old bell, big old bell, big old bell, big old bell. All I really want is that big old bell, big old bell, big old bell, big old bell. All I really need is that big old bell, big old bell, big old bell, big old bell. All I really want is that big old bell, big old bell, big old bell, big old bell.
Yeah, folks. Y'all know what time it is. Nigerian Lucas, and it's time to get into our review and discussion of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Episode 8, The Cost of Business. We got so much to cover tonight. Tonight's episode was absolutely nuts. I was going to kind of joke around a little bit, but I was like, man, in order for us to cram all this in our usual hour span, we got to just get straight to business. So, folks, let's go right to the end of the episode here. Is Lou alive? Yes,
I am.
We saw the game. We saw the tactic he played. He got unique coat for whatever reason. I mean, it's a fresh coat. I get it, but it just seemed ill-advised. He kind of been on edge all episode too. I mean, when he got G-checked by Rock about his loyalty, and then his girl checked him about his ethics and running the business.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he's chilling at home. After he did that, chilling at home, listening to the Isley Brothers and Unique Rage War that threw the Molotov bombs inside the house. And, things would have been flamed. But here's how I assess the situation here.
Mm.
He didn't get shot. He was on the ground and smoke rises. So, even if he was having, any type of cardio issues, he still should be okay because he wasn't directly up in the smoke. And even if he passed out, he got brought out. I mean, how long are we going to say he was in the house? 30 seconds to 2 minutes max?
Yeah, that's about the amount of time it takes to die from smoking I'm not going to get a word right now.
Or to pass out. I mean, to pass out one of that.
If you pass out in a room that is full of smoke, you're gonna die.
Yeah. So here's the question, folks. Everybody in the comments right now, do y'all think he's dead? Let's get some of these comments up. Is he dead or did he survive? And I think to me personally, I'll say that I think he's dead, and they want you to think he's dead because of the monologue by Kanan. If you looked at the preview for next week, because of the whole retaliation thing by Rock, but I don't know, man. I think they're just trying to give us, an angle to play here. But yeah,
both of them all dressed in black,
exactly. Kay, I think Lou is dead. Prince out here, Lou isn't dead.
Well, here's the
Marvin Carr is dead. My girl, as always, showing love. Lou is not dead.
I can see them killing off Lou, though. It would make sense for story-wise.
Lou on the brink of death, but not dead. I agree with that, too. I think he's going to get that classic, pent up in a hospital, can't do much. Because, I mean, it's the most lackluster death we've ever seen in Power here now. He's a major character. Oh, for sure. He didn't get shot.
No, think about it, though. His death would mean more than almost any death in the first season.
Gonna get that?
His death would fit perfectly on what they're trying to set forward with the show.
For sure.
Because technically, what if Marvin and Rock, that whole situation doesn't get rectified without Lou dying.
I can kind of see this going a couple of ways, and I mean, nonetheless, it is important to say that Marvin did come through and sort of assessed the situation. He kind of came to come save the day. And beyond saving the day of his brother, which we know they're brothers, they clash, but they still got love for each other. So that was the normal. First of all, I need y'all to look at that TV over in the screen now. If you didn't have one of those in your house, look, we got to talk. All right, off the record, because that's the catalyst of back in the day. Those TVs, man, I can assure you that TV made it through the fire, like not even playing. But I think that it's a lot of tug of war going on where they want us to go with these characters, because I think Lou, with the idea that he may not be dead, he may be dead. I mean, it's the same thing as, is Marvin going to leave or is he going to stay? One moment, I'm pretty sure all of us in the comments can agree that we's like, all right, well, this is the indication as to Marvin and Juke, how they go to DC. We know that's coming at some point.
Oh, see, okay. I didn't put that together. I just assumed this was another thing of his sister being mad at him and they'll get back together. Like, I did not take that at all. This is not how you're going to see. And at this point, I'm not sure if it's Marvin and Juke that goes or when that happens. I think that's just Juke who leaves. It has nothing to do with Marvin. Marvin is not leaving because Marvin can't leave the game. I don't think he can leave his sister. Like, I think that's his struggle. And the revelation in this episode that he was at one point in time a crackhead really shows part of his issue and why Rock never trusted him, because we've been questioning this whole season. Like, well, Marvin seems to be the tougher of the two. Like, why isn't she giving him more to do? She this is why I don't trust him.
Yeah, Lou isn't dead, but it's a official game. And this is what I was saying. Like, I think the monologue at the end, or dialogue, however you want to put it, with Kanan, I think that is the indication that they either he's dead or they strongly want us to believe he's dead. But I do feel like he will be, not physically handicapped, but unable to participate going forward. And I think he's going to play that position. And if this was supposed to try to draw us to be sympathetic for him this episode, I mean, they truly failed, because like I just thought it was just another day in shopping. Lou was just off his game. I mean,
really? What did you think that he did wrong?
This episode?
Yes.
I feel like we haven't seen him high tempered. So like when he got G-checked about his loyalty, that's the most emotion we've seen him this entire series.
But it should have been, because she questioned something that she shouldn't have. That's not on him. That's on Rock.
Yeah, but Marvin also questions him about everything all the time too, and he kind of brushes it off. So,
but it's different when the person who's the leader questions you versus someone who you just joke around with, because we know their relationship. It's different when you're in that type of situation and a person who's running the show, who you have loyalty to, questions your loyalty.
Fair.
The moment that question happened, that you got to answer that quickly. There is no like beating around and playing Mr. Smooth with that. Yeah. You either answer that quickly or that person's going to have to answer quickly for you. Yeah. Now, that's why I said I don't think he did anything wrong this episode.
Okay.
At all. I think the thing with Unique that we're going to eventually have to look and see, what did he do? Because it wasn't as simple as just taking no damn coat. That ain't it.
Yeah.
Especially that scene came right behind Rock saying what she said on the phone. And then that scene happens. It's for a reason. Yeah. I assume that was for a certain setup that Rock had a play for.
Okay.
Now, Unique responding the way he did, that was just because of the bodies dropping. He's blaming Rock for the bodies dropping. Even though it's not on her. Technically, it is on her because it's her crew who did it. But like, he's blaming her for that, and he wants a response, and he wanted to hurt Lou no matter what.
Hey, yo, I be seeing streamers do this, and I really got to do this right now. Hey, yo, throw some L's in the comment for this person right here. This episode was far from trash. That not even a question. This was a really, really, really good episode.
Hold up. Can I tell the truth? Real quick. Okay.
Nah, you good. We're going to the beginning of the episode here. Nah, you good. I'm not letting you get unchained. Nah.
No. No. In all honesty, the episode moved extremely slow. In the first half of it. And I thought this was not gonna. It picks up at the last 15 minutes or so. Because before that, I didn't think this was that good of. I said, okay, it's a setup episode. It's a lot of filler. I was like, I'm not interested in this episode.
Not-
And then it picks up by laying some of the people. Granted, the Detective Howard story, I am not at all interested in at this point.
Yeah, okay, so I want to bring that up too. But also, I mean, to your point, though, is because I feel like the whole setup was like, hey, we need y'all to get emotionally invested into everything that's happening. I mean, the Juke scenes were the most emotional charge episodes, part of this series in this episode that we've seen thus far, which
all of those. I didn't
mean,
need any of them at all. That
but
you broke into somebody's house. So come on, son. Come on.
I mean, but again, I mean, take away the logic of what you're trying to imply here. You got a girl who's hurt, and she did things that were completely stupid. I literally have it in my notes that it makes no sense that she did that. But at the same time, I think that's just trying to draw the connection to just emotion that she's going through. Because again, we know her ending. We know she turns into a savage. But I think it is important for us to see this journey that she goes on before she actually gets there. And I think that, you know, her breaking into the house would make no sense. Her she was in the house the entire episode, which was just completely nonsense. The cops come really fast in the white areas, by the way. I mean, they were there in 1 second. And
not only that, but we kind of knew that they weren't going to arrest her. It just didn't play out the way that they.
How do you assume that? How do you assume they weren't going to arrest her?
Because she's a cop. You can't have any form of back record.
Yeah.
You can't have any form of back record.
I'm about to say,
That's how I knew that they were going to let her go.
I'm about to say, what the hell are you talking about?
Like that was obvious that they was going to let her go. And I'm like, okay, like we can skip all this unnecessarily sad shit between her and Nicole, and you going there watching the videotape and all this shit. I said, you know what? No, I don't care. I don't care about her. Not in this aspect. It's unnecessary.
It's not unnecessary. That's completely false. You have to do this.
Why do we need more feelings for her at this point? We understand their relationship. We understand how hurt she is. Yes. We understand how hurt she is. Drumming it home that much is unnecessary. You didn't need any scenes with her there and stalking their apartment. And baby, you are a black girl in a white neighborhood. Did you think you would go unnoticed breaking into the white people's house in the middle of the day? Like, come on, son.
This is my comments right here.
I have been telling everybody from the beginning, Juke character is the best part of this show. But here is where they didn't need to do that to her. Her scene with Kanan at the end is more powerful than anything that happened with her going back to that house. That was the scene that they should have focused on more than anything, because her message there was highly important. Everything else, I was like, yeah, I don't need that. I knew we were going to get the big reveal that the blue cap was there. Like all of that it was too much foreshadowing for that and for her character here, and they didn't need to do it at all. And I think somebody put in the comments earlier when they said, I would really love to see more of Juke and Marvin. Yes, that's what they should have done. That's what they should have done. All this BS about her doing all that other stuff, it was so unnecessary. But again, this is what happens at times with certain power characters, where they're attempting to build up this sympathy, and you're like, but you don't need to do that. We already feel this way about Juke. Everybody felt for her the moment she was standing outside of that place waiting for Nicole to come. You even felt for her at the beginning of the episode when they go to the funeral. Guess what? That's all you needed. After that, let her deal with the big statement she made to Kanan, because that's the most important part of it. Yeah.
I don't agree, because I think there's people. When you think about her storyline with Nicole, there was people that was at some point already growing tired of it. And while they did not want to focus on the aspect that they were in love and whatever it may be, I think that it was important to not only show that she was hurt, but also I think it's super important to show how she grieved about her being hurt. And I think that it's important to see that in her grieving, she puts all bit of common sense to the side. She put herself in a situation twice that could have been detrimental to anything going forward. Going to the funeral, we all knew was going to be a bad idea. Going to the house was clearly even a worse idea. And I think
that's where it should have ended, was going to the funeral. It should have ended right there. This whole shit here, come on, son. That makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. And we normally say Kids do things that don't make sense. Yes, they do. This is not a kid doing something that doesn't make sense. This is something story-wise that doesn't make sense.
Also too, I do agree. Also, you also got to play towards last episode. Everybody wanted to see how she was all going to make sense of how everything played out. But I do want to go forward real quick, and I do want to bring up the scene that you all talking about with her and Kanan. And it is important that, I mean, you didn't quote it, but I figured you was about to. But it is important that she did state the first thing, as we said, it wasn't Kanan's fault.
Nope.
She said it. That solves that. But she said it's the environment that they're in. And I think this is where you talking about foreshadowing. This is where I start to see the transition from how her character changes, but also how she becomes displaced from her love from New York. And I think that this incident right here, you know, she and quite frankly, since everybody's just snitching this entire episode, I don't think it's going to be long before Kanan exposes to her why her dad went to jail. And once she realizes that her dad also had an addiction problem,
I don't think that's something that they'll ever discuss.
Why not?
Between them two, because there would be no purpose to it. I don't think they're discussing that one bit. So, I don't think it's her hatred for New York. Her disconnection is with her family. And if you want to get foreshadowing moving forward, who are you talking about? Her
disconnection
is with everybody.
No,
when she says, "I don't blame you. I can't even blame myself.
I blame the environment.
It's the environment that we're in. That's everybody. And guess what? The environment that they're in is that they're all in the drug game. That's the environment. It ain't the environment of worrying about people shooting and killing you because of a bad neighborhood. No, they are the bad neighborhood. And because they are the bad neighborhood, that's the disconnect she has. Because that's the change. When they said things can happen and certain people will change from it, when grown Kanan said at the beginning of the episode, I said, this is where you're going to see the reason that Juke is going to change. Because it's obvious at that point. Like this is storytelling 101. Unless I'm blind, which I'm not, because it's kind of easy to tell. This is not too hard to break up here. And what I mean by disconnect from the family, that don't mean you don't love people when you disconnect from people, but you damn sure know you need to separate yourself from a situation. That's what she's doing here.
I don't see her ever losing a bond with Rock. I mean, that would be completely contradicting to everything we've said about the relationship.
But when you separate somebody, that don't mean you lose a bond. I just know I can't be in this environment with you anymore.
Yeah,
because you're not going to change. Rock's not going to change. You think Rock is going to say, "You're right, Juke. We need to give up the drug game because this is killing us." No, that's not going to happen.
But we're not talking about like Marvin and Lou and Rob. We're talking about a kid here and her assessment to her aunt. She's not going to
You're talking about a kid and her assessment to her family.
Again,
don't just say kid, because at this point, no. As a teenager, you know how to pinpoint that. And that line had nothing to do with a neighborhood at all.
I think it's strictly about New York, the neighborhood, the city, whatever you want to be. That
would be way too short-sighted to think she is only talking about New York City.
That's crazy. Way too short-sighted. It's crazy. One minute you say she's irrational for her decisions of what she did.
No, I said that was stupid, not irrational. It is not her. I think that was just stupid writing to put her in that house. And I said the key part of this episode was always that conversation when she was talking to Kanan. That is highly important here. And it's a lot of foreshadowing. You can even tell it. You feel the foreshadowing when she said it. And I said, I get it now. This is how we get her separation. And even moving forward from the preview you get on the next episode, what she does there even shows it even more. Because for her to give a warning of that nature to a cop, knowing who her family is a problem. That's I mean by a disconnect. It has nothing to do with not loving someone. It's okay, because I did this last episode where I was talking about a lot of things in a lot of personal ways to help you pinpoint things. And I'll do it here, but very quick and short. In a certain situation in your certain game, certain things that you do to, you understand there's certain people I have to separate from. And there are people around you who will understand no matter how much I love you, I can't be around you. That's what I mean by the disconnect with Juke. It has nothing to do with not having love for her family, but it's her understanding I can't be in this environment anymore. And this environment ain't a city. It's us. We're the environment.
I won't agree with it because I think that everything that we've seen about this character she's a young character, and you're trying to give her a very complex mentality on how to look about this.
I can tell you this right now: being young and being in that game with a family, that ain't even complex. I made decisions like that at a much younger age. It ain't complex at all.
So I'm just saying this character. Go ahead.
The understanding that, okay, this environment ain't working for me no more. That's not complex at all to me. Not for anyone at any age. You can pinpoint when this is no longer for you. And the trigger just happens to be Nicole. That was the trigger for her. That's it. It's to me, it's simple storytelling. And I saw it, I said, okay, that makes perfectly good sense. So now you're going to see the disconnect from Juke. And it ain't going to be a disconnect with love. That's what, when people think disconnect and they think love is going to go away. No, you still have love for your family. You still love your family, but you understand I can't be in this situation anymore. Because we also got to wonder, what the hell made her, coming from a family of drug dealers and users, become a cop? That had to happen for a reason. And that's the disconnect. Because that has to happen for a reason.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. I mean,
I'm not going to speak on no more. You got it. You got it.
Hey, to me, it's easy foreshadowing. But again, that's when I saw it, I said, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
they are really pinpointing to make the character make sense for the future of the show, and that's something that was highly important here because everyone knows where this character ends up at, and because we know where this character ends up at, we know the profession this character ends up in. Why would these decisions be made? Just like when you said, how did you know she wouldn't go get arrested? And I said, you can't have an arrest record and be a police officer. Like, it's obvious to me.
I get that. No, I'm not speaking on no more. You got it. Now I'm moving on to the next thing. Any other comments about that? Y'all jump in the comments where I'm not speaking about anything with her no more.
Hey, and this was all it may, I'm trying to say like maybe it happened, but we'll just go on because I don't want to speak about certain truths that I tried to put out there, and I tried to hide as much as humanly possible about being in that type of life and environment. But yeah,
so I'm gonna make the next question very simple for you all. Rock initially let Marvin go. Was it the right call based on everything that happened in this episode? Because obviously, she was she blames Marvin as the adult of the situation with Kanan. Sure, we'll come back to Kanan in a little bit, but considering the situation with her and her brothers, dismissing Marvin from the group, was that the right call? And ultimately, now initially when she did it, now that he came to save Lou, or at least attend to Lou at the end of the episode, does she let him back in? Yes, we see them together next episode, but is her trust restored with him, or is it just completely shattered based on everything that happened with Kanan? So I want to hear y'all comments on that, and I'll throw them up there once I see some things pop up.
I mean, it should be like one ain't got nothing to do with the other. You saved your brother. That's a good thing. Me trusting you is that's not gonna like help me trust you more because you did that. Like, no, like it's a trust issue, and Marvin has showed countless times in this season that maybe he's not the best person to trust.
Let me answer this question. I mean, the money is because he might not have any money, so he's coming to collect and like, considering that he's like trying to exploit all his options as to what's next for him, he's trying to collect the loan that he gave her. So yeah. I mean, I think that was just very simple.
Her money, and he needs it at this point because he's no longer with Rock, so he needs the money. That's all that was. And her trying to set him up was hilarious. I did like the point that they didn't make him stupid enough to fall for the Well, what do I owe you money for? Like, if he'd have failed for that, I'd have been so mad.
So one character that's been it's a high profile casting, and I've been wondering when he was actually going to be relevant is Detective Howard and Omar Epps, and I've been very disinterested with this character this entire time. And now, because we know that he's trying to get he's trying to get some type of donor. I forget what it was now. Is it bone marrow? I can't remember whatever it is. Yeah, and Kanan's a match, so we know that's a lot of his motive.
Maybe a match. He's not
maybe
even 1,000%.
Yeah,
you can't be sure that
a good percentage that he could be. But now he's trying to play daddy again. But also him playing daddy, he's also now. Here's what's interesting to me, folks. He stated his claim that he is respected around the way. And one moment you think, well, probably because he used to be in the gang, or was he just a cop and he just dictated what happened around? And, very early in the episodes, he talked, to Rock about how he can position them to be the people. Then he was telling Lou stuff, he's just doing whatever. He's just playing both sides, and then he's playing the force, and he's just doing a whole bunch of things that I just was not interested in. Until this episode, he steps up. He wants to be daddy. He forces his hand. He tells Rock, like, look, this is what it is. I can take him down because of, the blue caps. And you need to let him know because I need to be in his life. He's my son. And then he started doing some bitch ass shit, if you ask me. Start, whole like, hey, I'm his dad, and I'll tell the streets that he's a cop, a son of a cop.
He'll be protected. Are you fucking kidding me?
And she quickly called it out. She knew what it was. And what's more important here in this episode, along with that, is that, he was the one that helped Juke get off. He also, scratched the whole let's go investigate Kanan. But the thing is, I feel like he's trying to be a bigger person than what he is, because number one, he should have never had his sidekick with him, because he knew Rock was somehow going to be attached to this. He knew it should have been no surprise to him. Once he started digging, he should have known. And so when Kanan's name got brought up and he act surprised, I was just kind of like, you're dumb. You should have known this. And then, he dismisses her then, but she should have never been involved with this anyway, especially if he's talking about he's so respected. He should have always went and handled this without bringing her along, especially something drug related. While other things are clearly happening in the city, as we heard from the Juke dispatch call when she got let go. Like, other things happening in the city, go through those things. But anything drug related, he should have been on top of. But now he's starting to play a critical role. And this also goes back to Joaquin, who is the new Connect, who also asked Rock, will he be a problem? They've been following him, which I definitely love that piece of dialogue, saying, like, now we're getting an established group of people who really is on top of their things, and they before they doing business with Rock, they said that, hey, we've been following you. Is the cop going to be a problem? We need to know. We need you to ensure us that it's not going to be a problem. So how do we kind of see this all playing out now? Because,
well, clearly she can't tell Kanan that that's his father, if they already wondering if the cop's going to be a problem, because that would create a huge issue for her. Because at that point, why would they ever trust you? I think he said it the right way. Her messing with a cop would mess up her credibility. It's definitely going to mess up her credibility with this new connect she is attempting to establish, if they think or know that he's her son's father. That's going to create a problem. Plus, Howard is a nasty, nasty man. And this episode helps establish he's a nasty, nasty man, as he had sex with a 16-year-old and got her pregnant. Like, come on, son. Come on. Like, you're nasty, nasty man.
Yeah. Look, she was 16. She said she was 17, as if that made it any better. Also,
Seems like you're ready. That's all I heard when he was saying that.
And DEF CON's sexuality came into play. They found out that while he is respected and he's doing time and whatnot, but Rock was just the side piece and cover up for him. You know why this is important?
He was his beard.
And you know why this was important? This is why she's so thorough what she does, because he needed her to do that. And so anything she wanted, she got. Yeah. He had to do, because the moment that's bust, That's worse than, matter of fact, that might be worse than Kanan being the son of a cop. Like, to find out that he was the top guy but he's gay. And
I'm about to say
the whole system.
If we go to the 90s, and I am not going to say any names, but we go to
80s,
the 90s
80s for this.
Yeah, but into the 90s, it's clearly some other people in certain other cities, because I'm being very vague here.
They said
we're not going to, that they thought or say live that life, and people openly knew that person lived that life. They still did not challenge that person.
Detective R. Kelly.
Exactly. He's a nasty man, Joe.
He's in jail. He's not dead. He's in jail, so.
But I think it just helped show just the moves that she was making when she said it the way she said it. Like, nah, he played the left. Like, that wasn't what he wanted. And I gladly played the role. And when Howard tried to say he's a fairy, and she said he's still 10 times the man you'll ever be.
Yeah.
That's just letting you know, like, nah, don't. DEFCON would probably still shoot your fucking head off. His sexuality did not matter there.
Yeah. Let me read this comment real quick. All I gotta say about Howard is that he would definitely live longer than Marvin's Nesca.
Yeah, Marvin is just going through Mercedes Benzes for the rest of this show.
Was Rock sending Lulu to kill
Marvin?
I mean, you can say Melvin because Luke calls him anything too. So
yeah. No. Where did you get that from?
Bingo.
No. If that's the name that you thought I was talking about, you are so far off. It's ridiculous. Like, hell no for that name, sir. No,
so
hey, if you're from DC, I'm gonna need you to look up more knowledge on your people who are in a certain gang to think that was the name anybody was talking about.
A support gaming, I gotta tell you, man, the driving controls for San Andreas back in the day makes sense on this comic. Yes, I couldn't drive worth for shit back then too.
When he was driving and he's like, oh yeah. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, like, you do know they got guns, right? And they are just letting go. I'm like, what? That wasn't a smart idea at all.
Hey, Tony T, yeah, they definitely not, bro. They definitely not, man. Let me move on to the next stuff. So, we do want to bring up Davina and Tanisha. CPS came and got them childcare. Call or play here. I don't know what this means, but I do think this means absolutely nothing else for this season. I think this is relevant for next season to just stash them away for now. Maybe a change in attitude, maybe a change of tone. I don't know, but we'll see. And I will keep saying that.
You think it would lead to a conversation possibly between her and Kanan? Over the phone, of course, or maybe in person, something like that. Because she's in a foster care system, so it ain't like they moved her to a different state.
Yeah,
she's still in the same place.
Yeah,
and the only reason I say that is because when they said her mom's been dead for a month, ain't that the month that Unique was sending her mom to rehab?
Oh,
yeah. Remember, Unique was supposed to send her mom to rehab. If her mom is now dead.
Oh, yeah, right there. That's, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if her mom is dead, wouldn't she then tell Kanan, like, yeah, I made this deal with him. I'm sorry. And it would bring it right back to everything that make him understand that Juke was telling the truth from the beginning, though, who snitched. Because that's still an unresolved piece of the story. As you said before, they wouldn't bring up Davina's mother for no reason. You said that in the first episode.
Yeah.
And you said it's got to be a reason why. Could this be the reason why? Because we all thought she was in rehab. Because that's what he told her he was. And it looks like he just killed her instead. He ain't sent her nowhere. Like that. That's a very interesting thing that I'm waiting to see what happens there.
Yeah. Even though we kind of skipped over this, but I do want to bring this up that Davina, man, she said no more with that abuse at home. And she set her husband up.
Did you say Davina? How many Davinas is it in this show?
I'm sorry, Giuliana. I'm sorry. She's definitely Giuliana. Only one Davina. But Giuliana, she wasn't taking no more abuse with her husband. And we all seen this played out. And much like we said that this was going to be to build a relationship with her and Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we didn't realize too that this would also gain an extra level of trust with her cousin in Joaquin. So, and it's also interesting that they did discuss it, but like as we said back in that time period, it was a custom for men to act like that. So when Rock did that, it wasn't a shock that he was beating her. It was a shock that a woman took the initiative to do so. And it was a weirdish change of respect there, because he was kind of like, okay, didn't think you would do. I didn't. Better yet, he's probably thinking like, I didn't think a woman could do something like that. And I think that just adds to
the
further progression.
Huh? He's used to beating them. That's why he's a little shocked. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. And I mean, I also think it's got to be a weird dynamic that she was the only woman in this scenery. I mean, they couldn't wait to pull the guns out on her. It was almost a no-brainer for them. But like, I think folks, what I'm getting at here is that this is just important to show, even with him being a top connect, that Rock is gaining respect from him. And we've seen Rock throughout 8 episodes now continue to build and establish her business. And I think that while that scene could have kind of been a little bit kind of lackluster, it may have felt like, it definitely was a big progression moving forward. Because
which one, also the scene of her killing Giuliana's husband, or the
with Joaquin? Yeah, all of it all together.
I love that restaurant scene though.
Yeah,
because the restaurant, again, you said it earlier, the restaurant scene showed you like, this is more than just a connect. This is more than just a nigga at the bingo hall with his grandmama. Yeah. Like, this is a little deeper than that, because they are very careful who they go into business with. When he said, you keep on telling us you're going to change the game, I need to know how.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just getting into business with you by you just saying it, because it sounds like a rap song. That's a great thing that he said there.
Rock probably, hey y'all can't be talking about Catch a Body in the comments, y'all. Don't get me started with that tonight. Hey, Joaquin already said that. He said, sound like you like your brother's song or something of that sort from the beginning, referencing the joint. I was like, oh, sorry, he got jokes now. Let's talk about Unique. Let's talk about Lou and going to Crown. And essentially having some legal representation until he pretty much commits a hostile takeover, which then makes that legally binded document right out the window as soon as he flashed a gun at him.
I was gonna say, but this is the 90s. Nigga, that's how all rap deals were made.
I mean,
Crown ain't gonna get legal representation and say, well, he pulled a gun on me. Like, nah, that's not gonna happen. He signed that fucking paper. He knew better. What'd he say? One way or the other, something of yours is going to end up on this paper.
But the question is, like, he did this because he is what? Is he trying to get out the game, like somebody said in the comments? Or is this a method of trying to clean the money? Or is he... Or, yeah, I mean, for sure. Especially since Crown got no money at all. So,
I mean, if we think about it, I think a lot was put on. Like, this is gonna lead to Lou leaving the drug game, and he's gonna go into music. This is the 90s, people.
Yeah,
everybody in music was in drugs. Like, there's no separation of the two. It's literally a show by stars, right? That comes on after this one ends, which are drug dealers getting into the music business and still selling drugs. Like that don't change anything. But as you said before, it is a good way to try to legitimize your business.
Yeah. Now, I really do got to ask this question, because I almost never say this. What was the point of the scene with Lou and his girl? The whole exchange of words. That, to me, felt like the most pointless scene I have seen this season. What was the point?
Was it about him noticing that she only needs him when she only wants him when she needs him?
Which we already know that, because we've already seen them have that interaction twice or 3 times already.
But is this the character finally seeing it? Because we were always wondering, like, is he just not picking up? Like, that she'll do whatever she can to get famous.
He's seen her in the club. He's seen her in the studio finessing. Even when they had that that well, I don't even know what movie I would relate this to, but when they had that street scene when they were kissing, it started out with her talking about that as well too. So I don't get what was the relevance of it.
I'll say
in
this,
episode.
and I'm pretty sure every
Such
guy
a gold digger.
in our comments, I know you'll probably understand. Every guy in our comments will understand this.
Facts.
Post nut clarity is amazing. Like, and he said it best. He said, "Man, I just bust a fat one, and you want to talk about this? That post nut clarity when it hits you, you're like." No, we're not even having this discussion anymore.
I agree with this.
That's what it felt like.
I agree with this comment. This is the only thing I can land on. I was like, is this supposed to be the shift in the energy of his character where now all of a sudden he's just about to have a bad day? And well, yeah.
You had a bad day.
Lucas a G? Meh. Maybe.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, and I know y'all gonna love this comment. If Lou is done, then I hope that Homegirl's done too. Her character does nothing.
I'm tired of her and Famous. When I did love his comment though when she said, "Because he has a hit, we need to get another hit out there." He has a hit.
Yes, right. That was good. She gonna probably be in the hospital with him. Lord, no, we don't need that. We don't need that enough.
Hey,
no,
trying to
baby,
get him
no.
to sign that paperwork over so she can make Famous famous.
No, baby, no, we need you. Famous needs you. That motherfucker
Don't
go
let
black.
the streets get this body. Don't let the streets get this body.
We got more.
Oh man.
We should talk about this scene real quick. I saw a few people talking about in the comments earlier. Good old Tony. Good old Tony. Now, yeah, we talked about the money thing or whatnot, but Tony here, I mean, first of all, Marvin, he didn't fall for her shenanigans, but he should have been able to read the room now. Like, they've been in that club before. If these dudes don't look like, I mean,
clearly,
just look at this. As a matter of fact, if you've never seen the club scenes or you just skipped the club scenes, right before this, they showed the line.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes don't belong in this club. They don't fit this. It's why they showed the lie. It's why they showed the lie, because they wanted y'all to know like there's something off with these dudes being in there. And Symphony,
the moment she starts talking in this episode, well, what do I owe you money for? Okay, I'll pay you as long I think I said it earlier in this episode. I'm happy they did not have Marvin fall for that, because I'd have been so mad if he fell for that. But he was like, "I'm tired of your shit. I'm out of here," and it was the perfect way to hopefully end her character, because Rock is now going to kill her because she's trying to snitch, so she got to die at this point. But it was just it showed Marvin's desperation at the moment, because the moment Rock leaves, he's like, "Man, I need to collect. I need to do this. I know I need to establish myself." And here she go, after she gets caught with drugs, try to catch him with drugs. When she said, "I've been blowing you up, thousands of messages." So I mean, you've been trying for weeks to set him up.
So let me just think about something I wasn't even thinking. If she goes down, then who runs the club?
Is that truth?
It's
hey, look,
Ghost. This is how Ghost gets truth right here. This is it. This is it right here.
Or is this the start of the Queen's Child's Project?
And one of those feds is Teresi's brother. So this is how it all comes together.
Oh man.
So I was going to start the episode off with this, but I kind of went with the flow with the comments a little bit. Everybody in this episode was snitching. Everybody was snitching. This little Rob snitched easily. So
this is why you get rid of niggas after you work with. Oh, sorry. Oh man, this is why you're careful. This is why you should always be careful who you do business with. I'll put that.
But I mean, he snitched. Then Kanan pretty much snitched on Marvin, and then Detective Howard. I mean, I don't know if that's considered snitching, but he did pretty much tell Rock like Kanan's in charge of all this. That this is what happened.
Yeah.
Then Rock pretty much comes out and was like,
Hey,
"Well, I'm the one
Rock
that
was a G." That whole speech with her and Kanan,
yeah,
that was so needed because it changed his perspective completely on the impact he has had with the decisions that he's made. For her, they said D Wiz, and the look on his face when she said it and letting him know, yes, I killed them because they were coming for you. So who should be to blame for his death?
I gotta tell you, when he got his whole name called, I felt the fear of God coming through that room.
Ain't
I was
nothing like a black mama calling your whole name. You already know you fucked up then.
You done.
It's like, yep. All right.
That Georgetown pullover was tight though. Man. Man. But I knew it was in trouble. It was a wrap. But she smacked the holy hell out of him, and that's where the wrath of God just came in that whole scene. But it's interesting because I haven't really been counting him, but how truthful has Rock been to him this entire time? Because we see that she said next episode that she's not going to lie to him no more, but
she gonna lie to him though.
Yeah, of course. And then the D Wiz thing all of a sudden comes about, and I mean,
I think that was just to show him the decisions you make have consequences
for sure.
Because
for sure
he's been walking around like it didn't. And she probably got frustrated and was like, you know what? No, you need to understand all these decisions that you're making. This is what happens. And he didn't know how to respond to it because she said the name that would affect him the most. And that was D Wiz. And the look on his face, everything changed because now you understand like what you do has consequences.
Yeah.
Like if they was coming for you, somebody got to die.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, everything she said, there was no lie about it. And I mean, like he wants to say he wants to make her proud, and he's thinking about the good that he's doing, and he even see the repercussions of the bad he's doing, but he also don't see the ramifications of how the system works around the decisions that he made, and even for him to even be in the position that he's in. And I think Rock pretty much laid the foundation and said, like, you can't even build a house if I ain't even do this with the concrete
he's
first.
Thinking like a corner boy who thinks they have amazing ideas. Like
Rock's that DEFCON was
she did. She damn sure did.
Hey, you know what? You know what though? On the low, that's problematic because now Detective Howard has that.
I just assumed that she was going to eventually kill Detective Howard because he has no choice at this point. She has no choice at this point but to kill him.
I'm gonna need my man Detective Howard to come off his New York undercover outfit. It's been 8 episodes, bro.
No, he can't. The 90s. All cops dress like that.
Every episode he got. This is what
every episode, dog. Every episode, man. They in the winter, so you know when we get to the summer, when he break out the shorts and Tims.
Hey, so what do Symphony ear hustle, and he heard
good man. He's good man there.
Good. He's clearly. I mean, he's already back on good terms with Rock, but this right here is vital information.
Mm-hmm.
And where does this put him at? Besides in further good graces with him, does this
solidify his place with his baby?
Or
good man.
Or
good man.
Or yeah, you're right. Or and I, you know, you can tell me what you think. I could be reaching a little bit here.
Oh shit! I mean, you about to reach? Go ahead.
Do you remember when Ghost went to jail?
Mm-hmm.
Who ran the club afterwards?
So you think it's set enough for Symphony to run the club?
Yep. Remember Dre? Dre was running it for a while. Yeah. I wonder if this is what happens here.
Well, Dre's nose was running the club. Dre was just there.
He was running he was damn sure running the club. Yeah, he was in his office and everything.
That's what I said. I said his nose was running the club.
Oh, his nose. I think say he
but no, I think it could set up for that reason, but there's no telling. Does Rock have interest in buying the club? Because they don't own it. So
I mean, it either way, I mean, we know how Power is now. You know, they love club stuff. You know, they gotta.
They better not have sympathy by this club, and then simply holds on to the club, and then Kanan knows about the club, and that's eventually how Ghost gets the club. Like, you know, people gonna put those connections all together for this whole situation. Like, nah. I think he is. Once he tells her, I think that's part of the reason we see from the preview of the next episode of Juke telling her, like, all you cops, all of you all are in danger.
Oh, I don't like this comment because this would be real good if he's in on this the entire time.
Oh, I thought he was an undercover cop too. So you ain't on your own there. And I think I said it in our first review. I thought he was possibly undercover.
This is the best comment of the night right here.
Oh,
go ahead and read that. Go ahead and read that, Lucas.
Jesus. No. And then you got a nerve to got Geechee Commission Entertainment. Come on, son. You have disrespected every person who is Geechee, and I am part Geechee, for you to even put on there that Symphony is Ghost's dad. Come on, man.
All right, folks. So look, for 10 minutes now, we're going to go to the comments. We're going to throw a little bit more questions that people got. So we're going to start with this first one right here. Is Luke dead? We started off the show with this. I don't think he's dead. I think it would have been the most lackluster death of this entire series, and even though Power, period. And I think they're just trying to draw us to that conclusion and foreshadow it. I mean, they're going to go back to war. They still got their whole house burnt down. But I think he's still alive, and I think that he's just going to be in critical condition and on the shelf until next season. I just don't see this being the death for such a main character that didn't get shot and died from what do you call it? You trying to remember too? But cardio arrest, I guess we would say. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. What it would lead to. I don't see that.
I'm still not going to get that word right now.
Next comment. Why did Lou take this is the question.
That's the big one right there.
Because Rock called to play, told him whatever the baseball term it was.
No. She said, I need you to pick up that laundry from Harlem.
Oh, right. She did. She said the other play too.
Which one?
The baseball reference that she made before.
I can't remember.
Either way, but yeah, she told him to do this. First of all, also too, the dollar can get you whatever you want. He played the bellboy, $1, got the car. Detective Howard played the crackhead, a few dollars.
You get crackhead money, boy.
Crackhead snitch. That boy snitched his whole life away.
That nigga will dance for you. Yeah, an endless show if you give a crackhead money. But
I think I don't know. I think did he plant something in the jacket? I mean,
that's the key part that I was wondering. Was he planting something in the jacket, or did he take the jacket to set it up to put it somewhere to plant it to make it look like Unique is the problem?
Okay. You think Marvin's next car gonna make it out the season alive? Nope. I will bet not at this point. I would bet my savings on that. Not a chance it's happening. I tell you, man, the car budget in this show, because these are still classics that they got to get from somewhere. They are killing them left and right. My man might be 0 for 4 on cars in this. So yeah, the big question is what color is next? All right, what we got next? Come on, guys. Hold on, let me read this. Come on, guys. They slept with 6'9" baby mom. That's why he told them it wasn't 10 to 15 years they have kids. All right, what's the next question, y'all? What y'all got? Lou out the game now. Let me throw that up there. Lou out the game now, unless he seeks revenge. I think this is his way out of the game in the streets. I mean,
why are y'all constantly trying to take Lou out of street life? Like, I'm so confused about this.
Oh boy, street life. Like, streets need a body.
I'm about to say, do y'all just think because y'all think because he wants to possibly go into music too, that he don't love what he do?
Hey, I do want to talk about this real quick. Real quick. Nicole dad is the one that we thought was clearly going to be a bigot. And I think he is not. And I think a lot of it has to do because his wife probably is homosexual as well too. And he recognized that. And she's in denial, which is why she is so mad. But I mean, he definitely tried to he tried to help Juke out in the beginning of the episode. So I'll give you that all. All right, let me see what other comments I got. How many bodies do you think Marvin will catch next episode? It's a good question.
Because
It's a good question.
He about to go nuts with it.
Yeah.
And he's shooting everybody. He don't care who it is at this point.
Hey, it's a good question. I mean, if we gotta pick a number, I mean, they did show a bunch of unique soldiers. So I'm going to say minimum 3. I think he.
Hey, the moment Rock said when he said, "What's the next move?" and she said, "A revolution," should let you know, like, what the thought process is there.
Yeah, I agree. If Pop Smoke was alive, he would definitely have something to do with this series. He would definitely have been. I could have seen him being one of one of Unique's top guys. Willard, what's his name? I think it's Willard or Welvin.
Ooh.
Welvin, I think it is. I could have seen that being Pop Smoke's character, something like that. We already asked that. This is a question that needs an answer. Treats need a body? ? You right, sir. You're right. The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
They got the streets already got bodies at this point. We don't need no more.
No, they don't. We always need more. You're crazy. Is Marvin going to go back to drugs? The fact that his story is attached to him being locked away because of his addiction, and I think his sporadic personality is what we've been seeing. I think it won't be long before we see him have a interaction that could be some point detrimental to himself or a critical mission. I firmly believe that. I do. No doubt. Nicole's dad is a homosexual.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought, not the mama.
Could be. It really could be. It really could be.
Or he's just an understanding parent.
Shut up.
No, I'm dead serious. It could literally be simply that. His wife, I don't think has issue with black people. She has issue with her daughter being gay. She has a serious issue with that.
I say the same thing, but I think it has a lot to do with her also probably, channeling her own frustrations. But, we'll see. What do you think Giuliana's next move going to be? Well, she has to run a
bodega.
Yeah, she's good. She's in the business. She's gonna clean the money, be the stash house. And she's in the game, so she's good. She's definitely not.
She's not getting in the drug game, because if she was, her cousin would have been put her in and already killed her husband if need be.
But again, I don't think her cousin respect women. That's the issue here. Until she met Rock.
I don't think he respects Rock either, but most of them don't respect women.
Well, okay, right. So I think she will loosely be attached to the game, because I think her and Rock will have a level of trust, or we just solidify the whole thing that when Rock needs to do something at the bodega, we know it's good. It don't have to be a scene. Yeah, we just know that it's just handled, and we know why.
It's a non-spoken rule. Like, Rock is always fine there, so you don't need to push Giuliana to do anything else.
I wonder if Kanan would distance himself from Rock. He was disappointed with Rock. I think this just is part of the revelation of who Kanan becomes. He has to take the hard truth, and that's what it is. His mom cut it straight. I think this might finally set him on the right path, because now he's getting the truth to thing. In next episode, he may learn who his dad is. So at this point now, all the secrets that he's ever pondered on, he's going to get the truth. So, we'll see. We'll see. What else we got?
Either be a man about it or punk up about it.
Was Jukebox face beaten up when she was talking to Bert, or was I tweaking? I didn't look that much into next episode. I usually just wait till we cover it next week, but I didn't look too much into that. So we'll see. Power, let me see real quick. In Power, he went to visit his mom, I believe, in a nursing home or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if Kanan did that or not. What is Rock's ultimate plan? Domination in Queens.
Yeah, about to say. We saw
pretty simple.
The way they building out those 2 apartments. That's her plan. That's what she needs to let the guy know.
I don't think so. I think the reason I don't agree with this comment, because I think that they want to use in series where you want a character to grow.
Would have played older Kanan in 19. Pop Smoke like 23, 24.
Nah, he's 20. He was 20.
But this kid is 20. They do know, like, the kid who's playing Kanan now is 20.
Yeah, I don't think Pop Smoke would have did it.
No need to switch him out.
Yeah, it would have been too big. I think it would have been too big of a role for him too.
No. Not only that. And Pop Smoke like 6'2". is 5'9".
Yeah.
No, the little dude playing Kanan now in all his actual height is 5'1".
I'm not even sure I can't even remember how tall Pop Smoke was. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. I still rock his latest CD. That's my shit. The trailer, the preview or the promo as they call it, comes out after the end of the episode. Yeah. Thank you for that. That is his name. Will Juke lose her joy of singing? Gone. Already gone. I think that once she looked at that video, that was it. I think that's it.
Unless her and Famous go on tour. Street line. He may have to hire a new singer.
Yeah. If you're talking about the dad, I mean, who knew? I mean, he tried to act like the whole culture vulture, woke white dad in the beginning, and it was definitely got those vibes that like.
I didn't think he was necessarily racist. I always thought the mom just had an uncomfortableness with her daughter being gay. I didn't even take them as being racist. It was just, I don't want my daughter to be gay.
What's going to happen to Dean if Rock gets to connect? Nothing. Dean is with Unique, and if Unique don't deliver, then Dean's going to end up coming back like, hey,
But at that point, why would Rock want his shit?
Not at all.
You're a side piece now. Go with your grandmother, play bingo.
At all. Well, folks, we are at our hour. Who's 5'1"? I was just comment. Who's 5'1"?
The actor who plays Kanan.
Oh, okay.
The actor who plays Kanan.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a little dude. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, folks, that is going to do it tonight. I'm trying to make sure there's no other comments I want to throw up real quick. Anything else I need to throw out? When is Juke and Marvin ever going to be in the scene? So, hold on. I'm glad you brought this up because I was going to say this earlier, but Lucas cut me off. This is why you can't focus on that because they never have had but one scene together. So how can you have a focus of saying that I wish they would have a scene together? It hasn't happened. I don't think there's an emphasis on it, but I also think this is, when you're talking about detachments, they've never really been on the same page, but I think there may be something to come of that. And that I will like to see how that kind of plays out. Dean's going to kill Unique. I mean, dude. Hey, yo, this is the last question of the night. Will Famous song ever make it to the radio? It's on the radio right now. Right now. You turn on the radio, you can listen to it. Real talk, though, the real question is, will he make another song? And who the hell is those other artists that they're talking about? Like, will they ever make another song? Who knows? Hey, but guess what, though? If Luke isn't alive, the Crown don't have money. So there's nothing going forward in that studio.
Yeah, I'm about to say, everything is dead. If Luke
studio dead. The whole studio dead. Whatever.
You think Rock give a fuck about music?
Yeah, Bulletproof is done. That's a wrap, folks.
and clearly it wasn't bulletproof.
Right now. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. You know what it is. Every week.
Damn it, we should have ended with that one. I do agree with that. Put that comment up at the end.
Which one?
And when it said, when Marvin said, "Someone help me" at the end of the episode, it took me out. Perfect way to end it, because that scene, he didn't know how to emotionally. He didn't know how to emote that emotion.
Yeah, that was
like help.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But yeah, folks, definitely. Y'all know what it is. Each and every week after the conclusion of the episodes, we're here to break down, discuss, and interact with you all, our thoughts, reactions, and recap of the Power episodes. We got 2 more to go for this season. And then after that, y'all know what it is. We're back for BMF. So stay tuned for those reviews as well. But we truly appreciate you all staying up with us tonight. And jump in the comments afterwards. You got any additional thoughts about tonight's episodes? We'll be there to interact with you all. But until then, until next week, we're live again. Y'all be safe. And y'all remember one thing. The streets need a body.
Where they go.
Thank you.